if you're a young person, just before you decide to follow the bandwagon where everybody's preaching, oh, English language is not our language is Yoruba and Hausa and Igbo and all that, and you feel there's no need for you to put in the effort necessary to master the command of the English language or French language or German, Russian, make sure that if you choose to adopt that mindset, you understand that you are also by implication saying that you will not want or be seeking opportunities to interact with people who use that language and expect it to be used properly. For instance, somebody that wants to go and study for a higher university or higher education abroad will be required to demonstrate a good command of the English language. So that is the reason why they make us take all those tests. I don't know, I can't remember what they call them now. But now there's been a movement. I think there's a man in Canada who's been doing that and he's been successful. He's a PhD degree holder who's been arguing that since we're an English-speaking ex-colony of Britain, there's no reason for us to be tested for the language, because by default we speak it from birth, and generally we have reasonable competence or proficiency in use of language. The thing is, I argue that given the situation we are in now, what I see strongly suggests that a lot of people are not bothering to go to the levels of achieve the levels of proficiency in the use of the English language like it used to be. So we may end up shooting ourselves in the foot internationally when it comes to traveling to study abroad with this attitude. Now, get me right, don't misunderstand me. I am also of that school of thought that yes, we shouldn't put English on a pedestal above our own languages. I actually argue that we should put our languages on an equal level, if not higher, than the English language or any other foreign language for that matter. But I believe that if you are going to use a language, put in the necessary effort to use it properly, competently, proficiently. Why? Because it can only command more respect for you with wherever you choose to use that language. Now, if we choose to use a language in any manner you like, then understand that there might be implications for you in terms of opportunities that might open themselves up. Even in Nigeria, there will still be some organizations where your command of the English language is going to be put above any other thing that you may say you will have to offer. They will expect you to be able to speak, write, and read the English language properly. And if you cannot demonstrate the ability to do that, they will probably not give you that opportunity. Maybe a job, maybe some reward, a form of a grant or promotion or whatever. So understand that if you choose to join this movement, which is saying, oh, English is not our language, English is not our language, understand that it also means that you should not expect to reap the reward that other people who demonstrate a better competence in the use of the English language will get. Once you understand that and you can accept it, then please go ahead, treat English language the way you like, treat French language the way you like. I have chosen to be competent in all of them. I am working so hard on my Yoruba now. Okay, and I'm working with my kids, spoken, written, and reading. I am working very hard to improve my ability to count in Yoruba up to 1,000, because I believe that is what is expected from me as an African, as a Nigerian, as a Yoruba person. So the same thing applies to the person who is Igbo, who is Hausa. There's nothing that stops you from developing proficiency in your local languages. But if you are going to use the other people's language, try and be proficient in it as well. The people who earn income as translators and interpreters, it is because they are competent in those languages that they get paid. If they are not competent in those languages, nobody will ask them to translate documents or interpret for speakers. So let's be careful so that we don't allow mediocrity to overtake our sense of reasoning under the guise of wanting to assert our independence as a nation of people who have an indigenous language. Let's be careful that mediocrity does not put us in trouble. Because what I see today, people who are being lazy in their attitude, even in the use of their own language, they are not competent, and they are talking about abandoning English. They cannot even communicate proficiently in using their own native tongues. You are just setting yourself up for disaster, and you're going to have yourself to blame in the long run when the opportunities bypass you. All right, if you're a young person in particular, this is very relevant to you. The adults who are probably saying that have probably reached the point at which they don't really have to bother about being able to demonstrate their competence to function in the fields they are in. But you who are trying to start a life, it's important for you to give yourself the best possible chances of success. First step towards that is being proficient in the language with which you communicate the value you can offer people. I hope this is clear. Hope you found it useful. If you have any questions, reach out to me using the contact details on the screen. I wish you well.